like, wait a moment, isn't that the same thing? No, it's not. There's a big difference between accident and sickness insurance and disability. All right, we're going to talk more on the accident and sickness side, not disability. Now, Chubb Insurance is our parent company. That's our mom and dad. Chubb's the number one publicly traded P&C company in the world, number one in the planet of Earth, founded in 1882, 140-year operation. That's Chubb, number one in the world. We've been around since 1922. So yeah, we got a 100-year track record, and our parent company's got a 140-year track record. So yeah, lots and lots of history for sure. Now, what about AM Best? AM Best rates every insurance company. It's kind of like a report card. You know what a report card is, right? Well, we have an A plus, so that's good to know. We have an A plus on a report card, and every insurance company has a report card rating from AM Best, and we have an A plus, which is good to know. What about paying out claims? Check out our claim history, right? You want to make sure you're dealing with a company that not only has a good reputation, but also doesn't pay out claims. Here's our claim history: $26.3 billion. That's a lot. $26.3 billion paid out in the last 100 years. In fact, in 2020 alone, during COVID, $2.58 million each and every working day. Can you imagine paying $2.58 million every working day? I mean, try paying $2,000 a day. That's quite a bit, right? Well, this is $2.58 million every single day. And in fact, in 2020 alone, in Canada, since we are a Canadian company, $106 million. That's right, $106 million paid out in Canada during COVID. And yes, some of those claims were COVID-19. And I personally saw many claims paid out for COVID-19. So yes, we do cover COVID, which is amazing because most companies don't cover COVID, which is kind of scary because COVID-19 was a reality for many Canadians, unfortunately. So here's a big question I want to ask you all, and it's important to answer this question. How would your finances be affected if you couldn't work due to an accident or illness, right? So let's think about this. You get injured, you get sick, you're not working, you're not making money, and you pay your bills. You got to pay your bills. You got no choice, right? You have to feed your family, right? You got to pay the rent, you got to pay the mortgage, you got to turn the heat, the hydro lights on. So how do you do it? You work to make money, but you're not working now. You're injured or sick, so you're not getting paid. So how do you pay those bills? How would your financial situation be affected? So obviously, we're looking for a recommendation, right? And our recommendation is getting living benefits, benefits that pay you while you're alive. And for the first one, it's very logical. Let's get an accident sickness plan. Why? Because if you get injured, we pay you, and if you get sick, we pay you. So to me, it makes a lot of sense. Get accident sickness coverage because it covers you if you get injured, it covers you if you get sick. Also, I recommend critical illness. Critical illness covers you for the cancer, strokes, and heart attacks. And unfortunately, cancer, stroke, and heart attacks are reality. People are getting cancer these days. 1 in 2 Canadians, it's a coin toss. 1 or 2 Canadians are getting cancer. So are you protected? The sad reality, like I said, most Canadians are not protected. So we definitely need cancer, stroke, heart attack coverage. And we need lifetime coverage. So if you're sitting there going like, wait, I already got CI, but is it lifetime? Does it protect you in your 70s, 80s, and 90s? And if it doesn't, maybe you should too. And also, I'm going to extend my recommendation beyond just yourself. But what about your family? What about your children? Don't children need coverage too? Absolutely. I mean, Sick Kids Hospital is full of sick and injured kids. And, these children, unfortunately, need coverage. That's the bottom line. So the reality is most Canadians out there don't even protect their children. So we're going to extend our recommendation beyond just mommy and daddy, but the kids too. Yes, we need to protect your families. So yeah, get family plan, accident sickness plans, get family plans, critical illness plans, because everyone in the family, not just yourself, needs protection. So those are our 2 main recommendations. I'm going to go over the first one right now, which is the accident sickness coverage. You can buy accident only, sickness only, or both. It's up to you. The sickness plan is available today, and it does cover all pandemics, including COVID-19. The accident plan is automatic issue, so that's good to know. And the sickness plan is simplified issue. So just a few questions, and I'll show you later what those questions are all about. But it's very easy to qualify for the sickness plan, and like I said, I'll show you the questionnaire later on. Let's go over now the 5 ways. That's right, there are 5 ways that we're going to protect you and your loved ones. The 5 ways we're going to protect you. The first one is a hospital confinement benefit, because if it's a major accident or major sickness, you're probably going to end up in a hospital, right? So we're going to give you $300 a day tax-free. That's right, $300 a day tax-free from the first day up to a year. No waiting periods. You're not waiting, 30, 60, 90 days. If you look at disability, you might have to wait 90 days, 120 days to get paid. I mean, I can't call the landlord up and say, hey, I'm not going to pay the rent for 3 months. Can you hold off for 3 months? No, it's not going to happen. You got to pay the rent right now. You got to pay the mortgage right now. You're going to lose your house. You got to feed your kids every day. You can't just not feed your kids. You have to feed your children. You got no choice. So children aid's going to get involved if you don't. So that's not a good thing. So from the first day up to a year, we're going to pay you, right? No waiting period and no income verification. We don't look at income. That's right. We don't look at income. We're not an income-based plan. So unlike disability, where you got to verify income and prove income, we don't look at income. We're not income-based, and we're supplemental. We pay on top of any other insurance. We pay on top of EI, workers' comp, and disability. So disability plans integrate. That's right. Disability plans integrate with other plans. We don't. We pay on top, in addition to any other plan out there. And we cover you to age 85. That's amazing because most plans stop at 65. We're living longer lives. You get injured, you get sick after 65, you need coverage for sure. In fact, I can probably argue you have a greater chance of getting sick or injured, right, in your 70s and 80s. So therefore, we need protection for sure. Yes, we're going to cover you all the way to 85. Don't settle for any less. And also 24/7 across Canada, United States. That's right, we protect Canadians right across Canada, United States. So even if you're a snowbird and you're down in Florida or Arizona in the winter months, you're fully protected. So you're protected at home, at work, at play, any activity whatsoever. So, and we also cover children. I touched on this a little bit earlier. I think it's important that we definitely protect children because children do get sick and injured. I'm sorry. No one wants their kid getting sick or injured. I mean, I got two kids. I definitely don't want my kids getting sick or injured, but the reality is it could happen. And I always say Sick Kids Hospital is full of sick and injured kids. Unfortunately, there's a lot of sick and injured kids in Sick Kids Hospital. But you know what else is in Sick Kids Hospital? A lot of healthy parents, right? There's a lot of healthy mom and dads there, and those healthy mom and dads are not working. That's right. You don't get paid if you go to Sick Kids Hospital, and if you're not getting paid, how do you pay your bills? You see, you still got to pay your bills, right? So think about it. If your child's in a hospital, you're not working, you're not making the money, then how do you pay your bills, right? And that's why it's important everyone get coverage, not just mommy and daddy, but the kids too. And that's why I'm strongly recommending family plan coverage. I'm also saying that these plans have no restricted occupation too. So that means you can do whatever you like. I mean, you can bungee jump, skydiving. Yes, I did say bungee jumping. We're going to cover you even if you're parachuting or you're a rodeo clown at the Calgary Stampede. Maybe you're riding horseback, riding motorcycle, or you're a police officer. You're a fireman. You're a lumberjack. You're a high-rise window washer. Whatever it is, all these risky occupations, risky jobs, risky activities, or you're just playing basketball or soccer or hockey. We're going to protect you. That's right. We're protect you for any activity whatsoever, as long as it's not breaking the law or you're intoxicated. We're going to protect you. So yeah, children getting injured in sports or adults getting injured in their job, if you're a construction worker, whatever it is, we cover you for any occupation, any activity. There's no restriction. And yeah, that's quite amazing because you know what? Disability plans have tons of restrictions. We don't. Disability plans cannot be sold, protected, cannot be used to protect children. Disability plans don't go to age 85. And you know what? They're not supplemental. They integrate, unfortunately, which is a huge, huge negative. So that's what I'm saying. This is not a disability plan. These are access plans. They're standalone plans. And they're amazing because all the negatives of disability are the reason why these plans pay out so much. Now, that's the first way we're going to pay you. Remember, there's 5 ways, right? 5 ways that we pay you. The second way we pay you is an ICU benefit. No one wants to be in the ICU, but it ends up there. And we can pay you $1,200 a day. $1,200 a day. That's not a mistake. So we actually pay 12 plus 3. So we actually pay more than that. We pay $1,500 per day in the ICU. There is no company in Canada that even comes close to what we pay out. $1,500 a day in the ICU for the first day up to a year. No waiting period, no asset proof, no income proof. 10 days, $15,000, 30 days, $45,000, 100 days, $150,000, tax free up to 1 year in the ICU. You know what, man? Look, this poor guy spent 9 weeks here. That's over 60 days. Do the math. 60 times 1,500 is $90,000. You may be sitting here going, well, I got a plan and all that, but does your plan pay you $90,000 for 60 days in the ICU? Obviously not. That's why we're here tonight, because Canadians need to understand there is a plan, a company out there that is finally protecting Canadians against hospitalization, ICU, and all that, and paying some substantial money for sure. I mean, look, at the end of the day, $1,500 a day in the ICU can go a long way in your road to recovery. Money gives you options. And I understand that provincial healthcare does cover the cost of ICU. Provincial healthcare does cover the cost of the hospital. But provincial healthcare is not going to cut you a check for $1,500 a day tax-free. And you're going to use that money to pay your bills, feed your family, and pay your mortgage. That's right, because provincial healthcare is not going to take care of your personal bills. And that's ICU coverage. The third way we're going to cover you is when you leave the hospital, because when you leave the hospital, you can't work, obviously. You got to recover from home, right? So we're going to pay you $300 a day, 10-day minimum. We're up to 3 times the number of days you're hospitalized. So the more days you're hospitalized, the more money you get. So let me show you how this works. You get that 10-day minimum. Remember that. So 1 day in the hospital, 10-day minimum. That's 11 days. That's $3,300. That's right. 1 day in the hospital will pay you $3,300 tax free. So it's not $300. It's $3,300. So 2 days going to pay 36, and 3 days going to pay $3,900 tax free. So yeah, 1, 2, or 3 days in hospital can pay you three, four, up to $4,000. That's quite a lot of money, no question about it. Tax free. So yeah, there is no company in Canada would pay that type of money for just spending 1, 2, or 3 days in a hospital. Now we spend more than 3 days in a hospital. You're in the 5 time zone. So yeah, I mean, sorry, 3 time zone. So 5 times 3 is 15. So 5 plus 15 is 20. That's $6,000. That's right. 5 days will pay you 15-day recovery, $6,000 tax free. Not bad at all. Not based on income. Even if my 8-year-old daughter ends up in a hospital, 5 days, $6,000. That's right, $6,000. Not based on income. 10 days in a hospital, $12,000. 30 days, $36,000. So yes, maybe you got some coverage, but you know what? You're not getting $36,000. There is no company in Canada that would pay this type of money to the average Canadian, and that's paid out within 120 days. That's right, 30 plus 90 is 120 days. $36,000 tax free, not based on income, fully supplemental. 100 days in a hospital will pay out $120,000 tax free. That's right, $120,000 tax free for 100 days in a hospital. Let's say out of the 100 days, spent 30 in the ICU. Here's an example: 30 in the ICU. That's 36,000. That's 156. 156 for 30 days in the ICU, 100 days in the hospital. Now that could be 1 year in the hospital, 1 year in the ICU. So you can do the math on that one, right? 1 day hospital, 1 year hospital, 1 year ICU. We're talking a lot of money for sure. We're talking six-figure payout, six figures. That's quite a bit for sure. Now, what if you're not hospitalized? Let's say if you end up in, let's say, a day surgery or a fracture, right? I mean, a lot of times you may get injured or sick and you're not in a hospital. You are not hospitalized. So either for day operations or fractures, we're going to pay up to 14 days of recovery. That's right, 14 days you're not working, we're going to give you up to $4,200. Not bad at all. I mean, think about it. You break your arm, you're not working, you get nothing. It's $4,200 for that broken arm. Would $4,200 pay some bills? Absolutely. And absolutely, like I said, it's better than getting zero. Because right now, let's be honest here, if you end up in a hospital, I mean, if you end up with a broken arm or something, a day surgery, you're probably not going to get much. Well, $4,200 on top of whatever you get, if you get anything, $4,200 will definitely help you in your road to recovery. And money gives you options for sure. So we understand you got multiple accidents, multiple sicknesses. We pay each and every time. You have multiple hospitalizations, multiple day surgeries, and multiple fractures. We pay each and every time. So there's no limit. It's not like some type of accident, like car insurance or home insurance, where they may raise your rates every time you make a claim. We don't do that. We don't raise your rates. We actually keep your rate steady, which is amazing. So yeah, multiple claims up to age 85. So what's the last one? Ambulance reimbursement. Ambulance rides are not free. I'm sorry. A lot of times people think, hey, Perry, I thought ambulance rides are free. I thought provincial healthcare covers it. No, it doesn't. You got to pay. And we're going to give you up to $600 for ambulance rides, which are very beneficial, obviously, because it's better than getting zero, right? So yeah, up to $600 for an ambulance ride. So that's the 5 ways we're going to pay you. So here's the reality check, right? Because I always want to talk about what's happening right now. It doesn't matter who I talk to. We all have houses. We all own a house, right? So if we're living in a house, you're paying for house insurance, right? So you're fortunate to have a home, then you're paying for house insurance. And you spend hundreds of dollars a month insuring your home. You also probably drive a car too, right? So you're spending hundreds of dollars a month insuring your vehicle, right? Just like me. So we're spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month insuring our car and our home. But how much are we spending protecting our family? Is that important? I mean, think about it. If you protect your house, certainly you should protect the people in the house. If you protect your car, certainly you should protect the people in the car, right? And the sad reality is, and here's the reality check, most Canadians are not. They're not protecting their family at all. They got the car insurance, they got the car covered, we got the house covered, but we don't have our family covered, which makes no sense at all. We spend more money, yes, tell me if this is true or not, we spend more money insuring our car than we do insuring our own family with living benefits. And that doesn't sit right with me. And that's why someone invited you here tonight, because we need to have this conversation. We need to spread the word and say, hey, you know what? It's important to protect your family. It's important to protect yourself, because injury and sickness happens. People get injured. People get sick. No one wants to get injured. No one wants to get sick, but it happens. And when it does happen, you need money. And that's why we're recommending these accident sickness plans, because they pay you if you get injured or sick. It's that simple. Life insurance is not. Life insurance will only pay you when you die, when you pass away. Well, most of the time you're not. Most of the time you're going to survive these accidents. I'm going to pay you 5 ways. Here's a recap. The first 3 ways based on hospitalizations. If you're hospitalized, you're getting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in coverage. And you definitely don't want to self-insure that, right? Because a lot of times people say, oh, I can self-insure. Really? You're going to self-insure $250,000. I don't think so. Exactly. That's my whole point, right? We don't want to self-insure six figures here. If you can mitigate that risk, if the cost of insurance is low, mitigate that risk, get the insurance company to take on that risk. That only makes sense, right? So therefore, let's pass that risk on to the insurance company. And I'll show you the pricing real soon. You tell me if it makes sense or not. But the first three ways is based on hospitalization, hundreds of thousands of dollars in coverage. The fourth way, outpatient surgery or fracture, right? Broken arms, broken legs, broken nose, even chipped teeth. That's right. You chip your tooth, that's a fracture. Or even type of day surgery, day operation, eye surgery. Yes, I just had eye surgery right here. That's a day operation. Maybe going to the dentist and having some type of gum disease and having gum surgery. That's an operation. Any type of thing like biopsies, colonoscopies, take a tissue sample. Yes, colonoscopies, tissue samples. Yes, that's considered a surgery. So those are all paid multiple times up to age 85, $4,200, and ambulance reimbursement up to $600. All five ways are paid directly to you on top of any other insurance. And, good to age 85. We don't stop at 65, which makes no sense at all. 85 coverage. And no restricted occupation activity. So ride a motorcycle, go bungee jumping, go skydiving, go skiing, join the police force, whatever you want to do. Be a lumberjack, climb a tree with a chainsaw, be a rodeo clown at the Calgary Stampede. We're going to protect you. How much is the accident coverage? So now you be the judge. You tell me if this is worth it or not. Here's the price for the highest level of the accident plan. For accident coverage, here's the price, $56. Is that a lot of money? No, it's not, because a tank of gas costs you a lot more than that, right? So for less than half a tank of gas, you're getting full protection at the highest level. That's $1.86 a day. We're not breaking a bank at $1.86. You go to Starbucks or Timmy's, you're paying more than $2 for a coffee. Am I right or wrong? So if you're paying more than $2 for coffees, certainly you can spend $1.86 to protect you at the highest level. Now that's the highest level. You can get half a plan for half the price. You get a plan for those $14. $14 a month will get you $75 a day. Well, certainly that's not $3,300 a day in coverage, because that's a top plan. Well, hey, even a $14 a month plan at $75 a day in coverage will pay you $825 for 1 day in a hospital. $825 is not bad at all.
He's at the club.
I mean, think about it. How do I get
He's
that
at the
number?
club.
Here's a recap. 1 day in a hospital, 10-day recovery. 1 plus 10 is 11. 11 times 75, 825. That's right. So yeah, 825 is pretty good. It's better than getting zero. So what if you have a family? I always talk about protecting children. Do I buy a plan for everybody? I mean, look, if I have a family of five, I got 3 kids, family of 5, that's $280. Well, that's a bit of money. No, it's $136. That's right. Our family plans are a fixed price. It doesn't matter how many kids you got. It's a fixed price. And based on a family of 5, that's a 50% savings. There is no insurance company in Canada that offers a 50% savings for a family of 5. We're the only one out there. And that's what I'm saying. We focus on helping families protect their children. Why? Because unfortunately, children do get injured. Children do get sick. And that affects everyone financially. So yes, everyone needs protection, not just mommy, not just daddy, but the kids too. And you can get a family plan for as low as $34. $34 a month protects the entire family at the entry level accident plan. That's $1.12 a day, cheaper than a bottle of water at a convenience store. $1.12 is not going to break the bank. It makes a lot of sense. You know what? Family plans are amazing. Unlimited children, including future kids. Children have automatic coverage at birth. No proof insurability. Newborns have automatic coverage. That's right. Even if a baby's born with Down syndrome or a baby's born with a medical issue, that baby guaranteed to have insurability. That's right. We guarantee insurability for babies. No proof insurability required. So yeah, I paid out a claim, for example. I'll give you an example of a claim, actually. I paid out a claim of $67,000. That's right, $67,000 for a mother who gave birth to 2 healthy boys early. That's right, the boys were twins. The twins popped out 19 days early. They ended up in the ICU, which is the incubator. And we pay $1,500 a day in the ICU, don't we? Right? So $1,500 a day times 2, because there's twins, right? 2 times 1,500 is $3,000 a day. Well, they were in the incubator, the ICU, for 19 days. They were 19-day early premature babies, and 19 times 3,000 is $57,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. There is no company out there that would do that. We also paid her money for the C-section, because she had an emergency C-section. That's a complication of pregnancy, which we cover. And we also paid a 10-day recovery, right? For mommy, 10-day recovery for the 2 twins. That's 30 days of recovery. So if you do the math, the payout was just under $67,000 tax-free. Well, you know what? I've been in insurance for 23 years now, and I've never seen a company that does that. We are the only company out there that actually covers newborn babies and pays a substantial amount of money if they're born premature. So yeah, if you know anybody out there who's having kids or looking to expand their family, I would highly, highly recommend the family plans. We have 7 different family plans to choose from, and 5 of them are accident sickness related, and 2 of them are critical illness plans. Let's talk a little bit about sickness because right now, we're in the eighth wave, ninth wave, 10th wave. I don't know what wave we're in, but things are looking better, right? So I don't want to be a doom and gloomer here and say that COVID's horrible. It is horrible, but I think that's behind us, which is good news. That's the good news. I believe COVID's behind us. But here's the deal: was that the last pandemic? Do you believe that's the last time we're going to face a pandemic? My daughter's 8 years old. How certain are you that my 8-year-old daughter is not going to face another pandemic? You see, here's what scares me. I don't know. And there's a good chance she probably will go through a few pandemics in her long lifetime. At least I know my sickness plan is going to protect her. Why? Because our sickness plan covers any illness, any disease. And with that type of definition, any illness, any disease includes all future and current COVID-19s, all future and current monkeypox, chickenpox, whatever pox you want to get, and all future and current respiratory viruses. So yeah, any pandemic, any future illness or disease, it's fully protected. So I know, I have peace of mind to know that my daughter is going to be protected for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. That's right. She's covered all the way to age 85. So that's very good coverage. And so she's going to be protected even beyond my life. I mean, I'm not going to be around when she hits her 70s or 80s, but at least I know this plan is going to be around. At least I know that she's going to be protected. And that's why I see this plan is so powerful. It's a simplified questionnaire. You do have to answer some questions to get qualified. I'm going to show you what those questions are. The accident plan has no questions, so everyone's qualifies for the accident. But for the sickness, here's the questionnaire. In the last 5 years, if you had heart attack, stroke, or cancer, MS, Down syndrome, alcoholism, drug addiction, insulin diabetes, a knockout, even diabetes, metformin type 2, we're okay with that. We're okay with type 2 diabetics. They can certainly get a sickness plan. In fact, AIDS and HIV obviously is a knockout and a very liberal weight chart. Those are the only questions. There's no smoking question, no rate decline question, and no family history question. In fact, people with the following conditions, that's right, people with the following conditions qualify for coverage. That's right. So if someone has kidney pumps, even if they're on dialysis and they have no kidney, that's right, no kidney. I've actually insured someone who had no kidney, unfortunately, and we were able to protect them with a sickness plan at standard rating. That's right, standard rating. They don't pay any extra. Yes, someone with no kidney on dialysis pays the same price as me or you. Yes, that is correct. Lung damage, liver damage, blood disorders, no insurance company would do that. I'm telling you right now, no insurance company other would insure someone who's got lung transplants or lung damage or on supplemental oxygen or liver damage. We will. Organ donors, like I said, organ recipients can get coverage. Hepatitis, Crohn's, lupus, Lyme disease, sickle cell anemia. That's horrible, but we can insure that. Asthma, type 2 diabetics are okay. Epilepsy, yes, even epilepsy is covered. You can protect someone who has epilepsy. People with mental illness can buy plans. I mean, one thing I noticed, a lot of insurance companies discriminate against individuals with mental illness. We don't. We don't discriminate. We actually will protect people who suffer from schizophrenia, bipolar, manic, depression, someone who's got anxiety, whatever it is. We will protect them, and they pay standard rating. We don't exclude them like other companies. We also cover people with Parkinson's disease, cerebral palsy, brain tumors, benign brain tumors. That's pretty impressive. I'm not aware of any company out there that would actually insure someone with a benign brain tumor. We will. Sleep apnea, even if you're on a CPAP machine, on supplemental oxygen. Yes, even if you're using supplemental oxygen with a CPAP machine, we're going to cover you. Gout, autistic individuals, yes, even someone on the spectrum can get covered. COVID-19, or even someone with thyroid issues. Yes, thyroid issues can buy a plan. So yes, our plan is pretty comprehensive, and you know what? Even people with medical conditions can buy the plan. I mean, it's not even a question of if they're sick, they are. It's not even a question of if they're going to be hospitalized. It's when. When would these people be hospitalized? And what happened during COVID-19? What filled up those ICU rooms? What filled up the hospital beds? People with pre-existing conditions. So don't you think these people need coverage? Absolutely. Now let's say someone's got, let's say, kidney palms. The first 2 years, we're not going to cover kidneys, right? I mean, that's fair. Most companies won't even cover you. But yeah, first 2 years, we don't cover kidneys. But after that, you're fully covered if you have a kidney palm. Now, think about it. If someone got a kidney palm, the first 2 years, we don't cover them for kidneys, but they get COVID-19. Is COVID-19 related to kidneys? No, it's not. So they're covered from day one. That's right. Yes, we can cover all these people with pre-existing conditions that have the highest risk of being hospitalized, highest risk of being in the ICU. We're able to protect them. That's right. So yeah, please spread the word. That's why we're having these info sessions, because Canadians need to understand this. Canadians need to know that these plans are available. You know how many Canadians out there right now are not aware that they can actually get a sick plan even if they're sick? There's a lot, isn't there? Well, spread the word. Be a good Canadian. Go out there and talk to your friends and family, people you know who have pre-existing conditions like this, and have a conversation with them. Have them talk to the person who brought you here tonight, because they need coverage. They're looking for it, so please spread the word, all right? So if you're lucky and you're healthy, good. But if you know someone who's not, please spread the word, because they definitely need it. And even if you're healthy, You still need sickness coverage, right? Because a lot of healthy people still get sick, right? Anyways, so that's the access in this plans. Let's talk about critical illness. That's our second recommendation. CI, critical illness. We have two types of plans: lump sum plan and daily benefit. I highly encourage you to talk to the person who brought you tonight to get more information on our lump sum plan. Tonight, I'm going to focus on the daily benefit plan due to time constraints. But here's the reality. I always want to talk about what's happening right now. One in two Canadians, that's a coin toss, 50-50, heads or tails, cancer, no cancer. That's right, it's a coin toss. Think about it, heads or tails, right? And no, 50% of Canadians out there will experience cancer in a lifetime. So here's a real stupid question: are you protected? It's a 50% chance of getting cancer. Does it make sense to get the protection? Obviously. So if you're not protected, why not? You see? And that's my whole point, right? Canadians need to get protection. And you know what? Our healthcare system's strained. I mean, there's no question about it. There's definitely a strain in our healthcare system. If I had to give our healthcare system a rating, like a report card rating, I'll probably give it a C minus. Some of you may argue and say it's an F. It's not a C minus, but I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give our healthcare system a C minus rating. Here's a stupid question again. I ask a lot of dumb questions. Do you want A level care or C level care? Well, of course, Perry, I want A level care. Who doesn't? I mean, for my friends and family, definitely, I want them to have access to A level care. No question about it. But here's the reality: A level care is not free. Our healthcare system's a C level, right? I think we can at least agree on that one. It's definitely not A. So if you want A level care, you got to pay for it. So unless you can write a check for A-level care, you're just going to have to settle. That's right. You're going to have to settle for whatever our healthcare system is going to throw at you. You're going to be at the mercy of our healthcare system. And I certainly don't want to be at the mercy of my healthcare system. And I don't want my children or my family to settle for whatever healthcare throws at them. You want A-level care, you got to pay for it. So unless you can write a check for it, I'd rather get the insurance company to write a check for it. Even if you're high net worth and you say, oh, I could write a check. Sure, you can. You want to liquidate your assets and start getting A-level care, go right ahead. But I'd rather mitigate that risk and get an insurance company to do it. Let the insurance company write a check for 100K. Why should you take it out of your savings and investments? And the only reason that you would self-insure is if the cost of insurance was high. That's the only reason you would self-insure. If the cost of insurance was low and it's good value, it would only make good financial sense to mitigate that risk and have the insurance company take on that risk if the cost of insurance was low. Well, guess what? I'm going to show you a real affordable cost of insurance. So obviously, that's what I'm going to do tonight. So yeah, I would definitely recommend you mitigate that risk, get the insurance company to take on that risk. So yeah, 50% of Canadians out there getting cancer. Are you protected? Stroke, heart attacks are reality. Are you protected? Heart attack, stroke. We all know people that got cancer. We all know people that had heart attacks and strokes. Are you protected? COVID-19 is destroying hearts, lungs, and kidneys. There's an increased risk of critical illness claims. Guess what? Are you protected? So let's talk about our daily benefit plan. But real quickly, our lump sum plan pays up to $100,000 tax free, and we pay within 14 days of diagnosis. That's right, not 30 days, 14 days of diagnosis. That $100,000 tax free. And if you don't make a claim and you live a long life, you get back all your premium. That's right. We have an ROP built in, return of premium on death, so that if you don't make a claim, you live a long life, you get back all your money. So you get the coverage you need, or you get back all your money. That's our lump sum plan. Talk to a person who brought you tonight. They'll give you more details on that. But let's talk about our critical illness plan, cancer care protector. It covers you for the big three: cancer, heart attack, or stroke. You can buy cancer only, but cancer is only good for someone who maybe has insulin or heart issues or stroke. So if you know someone who had heart issue, stroke, or insulin, cancer only is available. But hey, if you qualify, get the big three: cancer, heart attack, or stroke. 90%, that's right, 90%, 9 out of 10 people out there will probably get cancer or heart attack. So let's get you covered for at least cancer or heart attack and stroke, and 90% then getting zero. Because right now, most Canadians have no coverage at all. They're at zero, so 90% is definitely better than zero. But here's the deal: it's lifetime plan. You don't stop at 65. That makes no sense. We cover you in your 70s, 80s, and 90s. We also are a multiple claim plan. So not only do we protect you for the rest of your life, we also cover you multiple times. Because let's be honest here, cancer, stroke, and heart attack don't happen once. Most CI plans out there only pay you once. We don't. We pay you multiple times. We pay you every single time somebody goes in for chemo radiation treatment. We pay you every single time someone is hospitalized due to cancer or heart attack or stroke. That's right. We pay each and every time, multiple claims for life, not one time claim. So don't settle for less. Don't settle for age 65 coverage when you need lifetime coverage. Don't settle for one time claim when you need multiple claims. All right? So how do we cover? You cover you two ways. One's a hospitalization benefit. We give you $200 a month for every day you're in the hospital due to cancer, stroke, or heart attack. If you go for outpatient cancer treatment of cancer, outpatient like chemo, radiation, we give you $200 per day of chemo, radiation. We also give you a three-time recovery. So every one day in the hospital, you get a three-time recovery, right? Similar to the access in this plan you heard earlier, right? One day of chemo, radiation, you get a three-time recovery, right? So one plus three is what? What's one plus three? Four. Four times two, $800. That's right. $800 per day in the hospital, $800 per day of chemo radiation, assuming a maximum recovery period, right? So here's an example. Someone buys a plan, they get a stroke, boom, we pay. Then he gets a second stroke, right? Because the chance of getting a second stroke is higher, not lower. We pay again. Most plans don't. Most plans only pay once. We keep on paying. Now, what's the chance of this guy getting a heart attack? Higher or lower? Obviously higher. He gets a heart attack, we pay. Then he gets cancer, we pay. Goes for chemo radiation, we pay for that too, right? So we keep paying. We give you the money, tax free, $800, $800 for every day. And then boom, the cancer comes back out of remission, more chemo, more radiation, we pay again. And then third round, more chemo, more radiation, we pay. So yeah, we pay each and every time. This is illustrating the fact that this is not a one-time plan. It pays multiple times for life. So how much is this? How is this affordable? Well, you be the judge. You tell me, is this affordable? The platinum plan, which is $800 per day in coverage, is only $33.54. That's $1 a day. If you're 45, 54, $53, or 55.70 is $73. Now, that's not much. Now, look at the gold plan. It's half the plan, half the price. So instead of 800, you get 400. Hey, $400 a day is better than zero, right? So $400 a day in the hospital, $400 a day for chemo radiation, $17.54. That's 58 cents a day. You know that, right? Do the math. $27 is less than $1 a day, and $37, well, that's slightly over $1. So yeah, for a buck a day, you're fully protected. And look at the family plans. Look at the family plans. Unlimited children, including future kids, $62. That's $2 a day. It's less than a cup of coffee. Your family's out there protected at $32 if you want the gold plan. That's $1 a day. So yeah, for $1 or two a day, your entire family's protected against cancer, stroke, and heart attack. There's a 1 in 2 chance of getting cancer in your lifetime. You need lifetime coverage, you need multiple claim coverage, and a buck or two a day to protect your whole family is not going to cause you financial grief. Let's be honest here. You're not going to break the bank at a buck or two a day. Right? I've seen families go through major financial harm because they didn't buy insurance. And certainly he's trying to save $1 or two a day. It doesn't make any sense. You can't even self-insure that, right? I would find it hard to believe you could even convince me how you're going to self-insure by saving $1 a day. All right, I would rather just spend $1 with the insurance company and hope you never get cancer or a heart attack. All right, no one wants to get it, but it happens. You protect it. Buck or two a day, it makes a lot of sense to get protected for sure. To me, this is probably the most important coverage out there because cancer is a reality. People are getting strokes, people are getting heart attacks. You know, are you protected? Is your loved ones protected? Is your children protected? And yes, children do get cancer. I know many stories of children getting cancer, unfortunately. No one wants it for a kid to get cancer, but it happens. Go to Sick Kids Hospital. There's a lot of kids out there who are going through treatments. And you know what? $800 a day would definitely help out. All right? That's our cancer and heart attack plan. I definitely recommend you take a look at it. Talk to Bruce who brought you tonight. Let's get some more information about that. Now, here's what a strong financial house is. A strong financial house is made up of savings and investments because no savings, no investments, you're not retiring, right? Debt management, you got to have, lots, not too much debt. Hopefully you have no debt at all. And life insurance, car insurance, and home insurance, right? You need that. So that's what makes up a strong financial house. But what supports that house is a foundation, right? A foundation supports that house. And that foundation is made up of living benefits. That's right, a living benefit foundation. Because without a foundation of living benefits, you get injured, you get sick, you're not working, you're not making money. How do you pay your bills? You're going to have to deplete your savings, use your savings, right? You're going to have to wipe out your savings. And once your savings is gone, you're still going to pay bills. Bills don't stop. Then you got to increase your debt load, borrow money, credit card debt, whatever that is. And now you got lots of debt, no savings. How do you pay for your car insurance? How do you pay for your home insurance? So in order to have a strong financial house, you need a strong foundation of living benefits. How strong is your foundation? The sad reality is most Canadians out there don't have a foundation of living benefits. That's right. The majority of Canadians out there do not have a foundation of living benefits. They are one accident, one sickness away from having their financial household fall apart. You live in a home. Your home has a foundation. Doesn't it make sense that your financial house, your financial home, also have a foundation too? But like I said, most Canadians don't have it. So please, Dr. Bridget brought you tonight. Let's see how we can get you that foundation of living benefits. Bills are reality. You got to pay bills, whether you like it or not. You have to pay your bills. You got to feed your family, pay the mortgage on that. Injury and accidents happen. People get injured. People get sick. I'm sorry. It happens. When people get injured or sick, how do you pay your bills? I mean, that's the bottom line, right? The key is to find a solution. The key is to find a solution to probably pay these bills in the event of an unexpected accident. You don't want to be that typical Canadian family who thinks they're covered and go, hey, I'm okay, Perry. I got lots of insurance, Perry. I got lots of insurance. I got life insurance, car insurance, home insurance, business insurance. I even have HVAC insurance. My furnace downstairs in the basement is fully protected. That's right. I got cell phone insurance. I even have, a group plan at work. And, I got all this insurance. Trust me, I got so much insurance, Perry. I got enough. You know what? That's great. I understand you have a lot of insurance. I understand you do have a lot of insurance. I acknowledge that. But unfortunately, none of those insurance policies you have is going to pay you money. Oh, life insurance won't even pay you money because you got to be dead to get it. And that means you're dead. You don't get the money. Someone else gets the money. So what do you have that actually pays you money if you get injured or sick? You break an arm. What are you going to get paid? Is car insurance going to pay you? Is home insurance going to pay you for that broken arm? You slip and fall in your house. Is house insurance going to cover you for that broken arm in your house? No, it's not. What do you have that covers you if you get injured or sick? None of the insurance you mentioned there will pay you. Right? So that's the bottom line. You need to look at what you have and realize you have gaps. You don't want to be that Canadian who thinks they're covered and realize that they're not. Then it's too late. Accidents happen, sickness happens. No one wants to get injured, but it happens. You need protection. And the bottom line is you got to pay those bills. So please look at what you got, identify those gaps. Yes, identify those gaps. They do exist. And let's figure out a way to cover those gaps. That's the bottom line. You could do something today. There's no better time to buy insurance than today. Why? Because today you qualify, next week you may not. So, you know what? Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation with the person who brought you tonight, and let's see what we can do to help you out. So that's the end of my presentation. I apologize for talking too fast, but I had a lot of information to go over in a very short period of time. But I'm going to give you an opportunity right now to unmute yourself and ask me any questions. So please, any questions? Don't be shy now. Ask me some questions. Any questions out there? This family plan is absolutely amazing. I highly recommend you get it. There's no family plans out there for critical illness, protecting you and your loved ones for just a buck or two a day. And that's unlimited children, including newborn babies.
Including Joel, I have a question.
Yes. Yes, what's your question?
You said children are covered up to how many years old?
Yeah, good question, Stacy. Children are considered under 18, so unlimited children under 18, and the kids are covered to age 23. At that time, they would then get their own individual plan at no proof of insurability. That's key because sometimes, children do get sick and they become uninsurable, right? I've seen that many times. I had a child get, they got, MS, for example, and they're uninsurable right there on the spot. So, let's get them the insurance now while they qualify, and at least they're protected. And at age 23, they just switch over to an individual plan, and they get their own separate plan, but no proof insurability, which is amazing. These are all lifetime plans, so that's quite very strong. And by the way, the rates don't increase. So in other words, if someone buys a plan at 1844 age band, you keep the 1844 age band. So yeah, buy it now because you keep your age band. So when you start moving up the age bands, when you start, maybe you're 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, doesn't matter. You still pay the same price you paid when you started. That's right. You keep the age band. And everyone has their own individual coverage. Nothing's shared. So if you have 5 kids, 7 people, that's 7 different plans for the family plan. All right. Good question, Stacey. And no deductible. And by the way, even this plan here, even if someone has type 2 diabetes on metformin, yes, type 2 diabetes on metformin with high blood pressure pills will pay the same price as you and me. That's right, they don't pay extra. We do not charge extra, even if someone has type 2 diabetes using high blood pressure pills.
I have some questions.
Yes.
Okay, so you talked. My first direct question is the sickness plan itself. Yep. Doesn't mean it doesn't cover cancer, stroke, and heart attack because I see that it's treated differently.
So I talked about 3 plans tonight, right? We have many plans, but tonight, due to time, I only talked about the top 3, in my opinion. The sickness plan covers any illness, any disease. So any illness, any disease includes cancer, stroke, and heart attack. Any illness, any disease includes COVID-19 and all future COVIDs, all future monkeypoxes and respiratory viruses and all future pandemics. So no, it does cover cancer or heart attack. Now you may wonder, why would I buy this plan if I have a sickness plan, right? You're probably thinking that. Well, the sickness plan pays you big money if you're hospitalized, and a sickness plan pays you money if you go for outpatient surgery. Unfortunately for cancer, outpatient surgery is not chemoradiation. And a lot of Canadians out there, when they get cancer, unfortunately, the reality is they go for chemoradiation. And chemoradiation may not result in hospitalization. So the sickness plan does cover cancer, but it only pays you if you're hospitalized or you go for surgery. The sickness plan does not cover chemoradiation because chemoradiation is a treatment. And that's why this plan is so important, because if you want full coverage, like if you truly want, let's say, cancer coverage, you definitely need to get this plan, because this plan is going to pay you $800 per day for chemoradiation, while the sickness plan does not. The sickness plan will only pay you if you're hospitalized or you go for a day surgery. Now,
okay, my next question.
Coverage, yeah.
My next question, it says that it's only after 2 years that these pre-existing illnesses will be covered. Now, what happens if the person dies within the first 2 years? Do they get anything in terms of benefits?
Yeah. So this is a living benefit, right? So we pay you when you're alive, not when you're dead. So if someone dies at any time, we don't pay a death benefit, all right? But we do pay if they're in the hospital. We do pay if they go for day surgery. We do pay for that. So we will pay for the number of days they're hospitalized, or pay for the number for the day surgeries and all that. But if someone dies, they die. We don't pay a death benefit per se.
Okay.
What we're not life insurance. We're living benefits. We pay you when you're living, not when you're dead.
Okay, so let's assume someone who had a thyroid issue has been cleared by the doctor, and the person
they're not cleared. Even if they're not cleared, you can buy our sickness plan, even with a thyroid.
No, but if they are cleared, will they still need to wait the 2-year period?
Right. So if their thyroid clear, but they got to be clean of thyroid issues in the last 5 years. So if their thyroid issues occurred within 5 years, that would be considered a 2-year wait. So they would have to wait 2 years, okay? But after 2 years, they're fully covered. So if someone has a thyroid issue, most companies won't even insure them. They're going to be uninsurable, all right? The fact that our company would even entertain an application and insure them at standard rating, they're not paying extra. And all they do is they have a 2-year exclusion. That's it on thyroid, but they're covered for everything else. So I'll give you an example. Someone's got a thyroid issue. They buy the plan. They get COVID-19. Is COVID-19 related to thyroid? No, it's not. They're hospitalized. They're in the ICU. We pay. They don't wait 2 years. They get paid because it's not related to thyroid. Now, after 2 years, we will cover him for thyroid issues.
All right, that's looking at two very far illnesses. What if we say someone had a breast cancer, and after a year or two, the person gets a maybe liver cancer? Are they related?
Yeah, cancer is cancer, right? Doesn't matter what type of cancer it is, right? Okay. Now, first of all, the sickness plan, you cannot buy the sickness plan if you are within 5 years. You have to be 5 years clean, right? So you don't even qualify. Now, if someone was cancer-free for over 5 years and no treatment, no medication, they would be eligible to get the sickness plan if they're cancer-free for 5 years, okay? But yeah, if they get the if they get the sickness plan and they get cancer, they will be covered. I'm assuming the cancer was 5 years ago, right? In your example, if they're under 5 years, I would recommend a different plan. We have a lump sum plan, and a lump sum CI plan is available for recent cancer survivors. That lump sum plan will cover recent cancer survivors.
They don't need to wait for 2 years?
No. For the lump sum plan, no. For the lump sum plan, you can get a critical illness plan to protect recent cancer survivors. Now, I'll be honest with you, that critical illness plan will exclude cancer, right? Because they're a recent survivor. First of all, there's no insurance company out there that's going to insure someone who's a recent survivor of cancer, okay? It's not happening. No one's going to do it. So, but our company is willing to do it. We just exclude cancer, that's all. We cover them for the strokes and the heart attacks and the benign brain tumors and all that, right? But if they're cancer-free for over 5 years, we can get them a plan, no problem.
Okay, sorry, I'm asking too many questions, but I
No, these are
still have
great
a couple
questions.
of other.
These are very good
Yeah.
questions. Who invited you,
So,
by the way?
sorry?
Who invited you? Who invited you?
Joy.
Joy,
Joy.
excellent, very good. Joy, right? You're out in Saskatchewan. You're in Regina.
No, I'm not in Regina. I'm in the Atlantic, Nova Scotia.
Oh wow, okay, that's good.
All
So
right.
you know Joy
So,
from Regina, right?
yeah. So let's
Excellent.
imagine, for instance, that a person has diabetes, and we know that diabetes medication can actually affect the kidney. But the
Absolutely,
person,
there's a high risk. There's a very high risk. Yes.
yeah. So the person didn't have any kidney issues as of the time of signing on, but did declare that they have diabetes.
Correct.
What
Yes.
if in the course of time, less than 2 years, the person develops a kidney malfunction? Will that kidney malfunction be covered?
It will not be covered if it is linked to diabetes. If it is
How do
not
we
linked to
ascertain that for sure?
diabetes, what's that?
How do we ascertain that for sure?
Well, that's through medical professionals. So medical professionals will determine if the medication or the diabetes caused the kidney issues. Like I said,
Okay.
I'm not a doctor, you're not a doctor, but I can just tell you what the definition is. We will not cover any pre existing condition, any illness related to the pre existing condition, unless the loss caused by the pre existing condition occurs after 24 months. That's a direct
Okay.
word for word definition. All right. So
All
the
right.
first 2 years, I'm going to be honest with you, first 2 years, you're in the gray zone. We're in the gray
Yeah.
zone. But after 2 years, there is no gray zone. It is very clear. After 2 years, you're fully protected. So I would highly recommend if someone's got diabetes, which is a high risk of kidney issues, a high risk of all the other stuff, I would highly recommend they get coverage now, get the 2 years out of the way, and then get full coverage at standard rating to age 85. There is no company that does that. All right. So get it in now. Wait your 2 years. After 2 years, you're fully protected at age 85. If something happens within the first 2 years, pray that it's not linked to the pre-existing condition. Pray that it's not linked. If it's not linked, you're paid. If it's linked, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. It is what it is, right? I'm not a doctor. But if it's linked, it's linked. And we're not going to cover you for that. I'm very clear about that.
Okay.
First 2 years, gray zone.
Yeah, you talked about premium refund. At what age will the premium be refunded?
If you buy the critical illness plan, not the accident, not the sickness plan. When you buy the critical illness plan, the lump sum plan will pay your premiums back, 100% of your premiums less any claims on the time of death. It's a death benefit, but it's a lifetime plan. You need lifetime coverage, right? What's that?
It's paid to beneficiaries.
Well, yeah, usually death benefits are paid to a beneficiary, right?
Okay.
You got to die first to get the money, right? So, yeah, beneficiary gets the money, but it's a return of premium on death. And that's important to know because it's a lifetime plan. First of all, do you agree that you need lifetime coverage? Do you think it's important to get coverage in your 80s and 90s and 100s? Is that important? Of course it is. Because your risk levels are getting higher and higher each year. Am I right? As you get older, I'm sorry, there's a higher risk of getting cancer, stroke, and heart attack, right? So therefore, it is very, very important to get coverage for life. The fact that many companies out there have plans that end at 65, I shake my head and go, why? Why do people have plans that end at 65 or 75? It makes no sense. We're living longer lives. The chance of getting cancer or heart attack increases as we age. We need coverage in our 80s, 90s, and 100s. Well, therefore, let's get a lifetime plan. If I don't make a claim, I live a long life, which is good. I get back all my money. Seems like a pretty good deal to me. Right?
Okay. My last question.
These are great questions, by the way.
Thank you. My last question, and this has to do with the living benefits you pay. I just want to understand. So, because when you say it protects income, from my understanding of your presentation, is just for a period of 1 year, right? Or does it extend beyond 1 year?
Not true at all. No. So we don't look at income. We're not income based. We don't protect income. We protect time loss. We're a time loss plan, right? So we protect you due to time loss, and we pay up to 1 year in the hospital, 1 year in the ICU, and up to 3 times recovery. That could be up to 3 years of recovery. So if you're in a hospital, theoretically, in a hospital for 1 year, we'll pay you 3 years recovery. 1 plus 3 is 4. We'll pay theoretically 4 years. 1+3.
Understood. Thank you.
That's quite a lot of money.
What's the best way to contact you? WhatsApp, call?
You should talk to Joy, right? She's in Regina, right? Give Joy a call, and we could definitely hook you up, and we can talk. And here's my number here. But Joy and myself can definitely help you for sure and get the coverage you need.
Okay, I'm not looking for coverage. I'm an advisor.
Oh, you're an advisor.
Yeah.
How long you been doing insurance for?
Over a year now.
Have you ever seen this before?
No,
No, you haven't, right? Just be honest, right? I mean, there's a lot of guests on the line here, right? You've been an advisor now. You represent multiple insurance companies, correct?
Yeah.
So which insurance company does this?
That's
Nobody.
It's a great product, nonetheless.
You see, you heard it right there from an advisor, ladies and gentlemen. There is no other insurance company out there that does with this. And that's what I said. We are the only insurance company out there that specializes in living benefits. There is no company out there that does this. And we've been doing this for 100 years. That's right. We're a 100-year-old company, A+ rating, owned by Chubb Insurance. So we got a Chubb Insurance backing us up. And yeah, we've been in Canada now for almost 70 years. So yeah, very good track record. Yeah, definitely. Why don't you text me? You got my number right here. Please text me your name and email address, and let's have a talk. All right? Let's get you on board. All right?
Sure.
Let's get you on board right away. No problem.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Wow, I didn't know you were an advisor. That's amazing. That's why you're drilling me with such good questions. That's right.
I need to be informed to be able to talk to my clients.
That's right. I love talking to advisors because they know what questions to ask. We got no one's doing this. Any other questions out there? No other questions. Okay, please talk to the person who brought you tonight. Have a super night. Today's Tuesday, so the next appointment, the next info session is Thursday, 8 o'clock Toronto time, or 9 o'clock Eastern Canada time, or 9:30 Newfoundland time. I don't know where you're from, but if you're in Newfoundland, it's 9:30. If you're in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, it's 9 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock Toronto time, or 5 p.m. Vancouver time. All right. So, or Saskatchewan time would be 6 p.m. All right. So, yes, guys, thanks for coming out. I'll see you Thursday night if you're interested. Talk to Bridget brought you here tonight. Be safe and all the best.
Thank you. Good night.